Back to day two of our 8 week sprint. As you can see right here, these are the dates that I'm trying to aim for. Actually, let me adjust this a little bit because today's actually the 16th and I started yesterday on the 15th. So let me see if I can do that. Cool. I think I need to adjust this by a few days, so I'll just say the 15th. So we'll call that 30 days. But today we are going to continue building an automation business from scratch. Moderately from scratch. So I already have some processes that I've gone through. Just kind of reiterate. I went and created an offer using $100 million offer by Alex Hormozy. And then I also used another book called what's that book called? It'll come to me in a second. But basically, Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. So if you haven't read those two books, I highly recommend those. But basically, they gave me the principle of charge more for your services and then provide more value to accommodate that. So what we're going to do is try to match that. Over here, we have our weeks 1 through 8. And this is the information that I have on day 1 to 2, which is basically conducting an in-depth market research to identify the most promising subsegment. And so basically, we're going to try to target independent financial advisors, specializing in financial or in retirement planning for mass affluent clients. Typically, some of those with 100,000 to 1 million in investable assets. And we're going to change this because we're not at that point where we can work with people who are working with 100 million to 500 million. So we'll just call it 1 million to 20 million in assets under management. So that's a good starting point. I think that with those financial advisors in that range, it opens up it a little bit more, especially because we're starting something that's new. So somebody who has $100 million business isn't going to be looking for what we have going on. So this is the rationale that I got from Perplexity when I was going through this. I was doing a little bit more digging, and what I'll end up doing is taking this entire thing, right? Once we build out everything, we're going to take it, and it's a little overkill, but again, if we want to get to the $100 million range, then this is what I think is going to be necessary. We're going to take this entire process, right? Our SOPs, our 8 week sprint, our internal audit process, our offer, guarantee, and objections, the entire workflow, right? We're going to take all of that. Once all of this is completed, we're going to take all of that and then put it into Claude AI. Because I've been seeing some stuff that Claude is obviously better than Perplexity. I know that they're all better than Perplexity. Like I said, it's just the way that Perplexity is just user friendly to what I have going on that I kind of use that a little bit more. So we're going to take all this stuff, put it into Claude, and then ask it, how do you make it better, right? How do you make it more streamlined? How do you make it more easier to read? And how do you just go about that process so we can just find out any little gaps that could be made better. So today, like I said, day 1, we did the in-depth market research to identify the most promising subsegment, retirement planners. These are the people that we're going to try to aim for. I just get rid of this. It's kind of confusing. So we're targeting financial advisors who do retirement planning with $1 million to $20 million in assets under management, AUM. And these are the rationales. So the advisors are often young, more tech native. They're looking for change, right? Their growth potential is a little bit higher. And the reason I chose this is because you want to choose an industry that is growing and has the ability to keep up, and it just keeps growing. And so I chose retirement planners because when you look at what's happening, we're having more and more people retire each and every day. As the baby boomers get older, they're going to start retiring, and then you're just going to have this mass influx of people who are just trying to figure out their retirement. And I think we're already in that, but as more and more people retire, because it's a lot more expensive, they need help figuring out this stuff. And so those retirement planners are trying to balance all this stuff. And retirement planning is going to get a lot tougher. So So we have all this information. Cool, got it. And all this is still within Perplexity. So now day 3 and 4, which is where we're kind of at, but really it's like day 2. Develop a minimum viable product (MVP). Focus on solving one critical pain point for this segment. So let's go back to Perplexity. So here we are. We got this part right here. We're going to copy this. I forget where I was at, but I'm going to just go down here. So this is where we did the identifying the person. Have that in mind. How would they conduct the research? Cool. Is there a backup segment? Because I think it was just saying it was just a crazy number. I was like, this is 500 million to 2 billion. I ain't got that. Like, I just don't. Like, I don't have the ability to approach somebody making that kind of money right now. To say confidently, I have a business that I might work for you. So, got this. Cool. This is what I copy and pasted. With everything you know about my business, we'll be creating Zapiers. So I basically I might have talked about this last time, but with Zapier GPT, where basically it can build out the Zaps for that. And I was just kind of like testing that and beta testing that. But I was like, let me stop real quick and document this entire process before I get too ahead of myself. So let me actually show you what I have set up so far. All right, cool. So now we are logged in. And within Platform Go High Level, which is what I'm using right here, you have, let's go through this really quickly. You have a dashboard, or not. Oh, there we go. So you have a dashboard and you can kind of see the values of everything. So I don't know why this is not updated. I might have to go to my agency one, but yeah. So you have your dashboard, which is going to show you all your opportunity status. So how many like people are in your pipeline, what's the value for each one, and what's your conversion rates. And then these are all the different stages that I have people in that they can go to. And again, I don't know why it's not showing up, but maybe it's for the past month. I don't know. Let's do this year and see if that changes. There we go. All right. So as you can see, I have 3 people, 3 clients right now. But again, these are just people that I already personally knew. So one of them, I was like, yo, I just need you to just cover like my subscription for, Miro and a couple other things. And, let me beta test it so I can have somebody to kind of like say, hey, I have some experience in this stuff, and then kind of iron out the kinks. And then, so you can kind of get an idea of what this looks like right here. Cool. Conversations. So you can have your text messages, all your, like, everything's in one mailbox here. So I don't know why it's not popping up unread. So I'm not going to show that because it's going to show numbers and stuff. But you can have all your conversations in one place. You have a calendar where you can start setting appointments and you can sync it up. As you can see, this is my personal calendar. So I sync it to my Google Calendar so that nobody can really book in between these times. So 8 to 10, I'm busy with work. I take a nap throughout the day. And then, I wind down and sleep from these hours. So the only times that people can book are out in between these times here. And then contacts, I probably won't show that. So opportunities. So these are all the different opportunities that people can go into. So as you can see, booking requested. So these are just like little buckets that people can kind of go into. And I'll probably set up a totally different one, just like a test demo account to kind of walk through that as time goes on. And if this is helpful for you, just drop a comment down below. And if you want to kind of get more of a walkthrough, then what I'll probably do is just create like in my Skool, just like a little walkthrough of everything that I've learned. And again, none of this stuff that I'm like going over is not something that is something that you can't do yourself. You can go out and you can just do all the research, just like I did. But my job here is just to kind of like bring everything into like one central area, so it's a little bit easier for you. So you can accept payments. You can do marketing, so you can send out emails and stuff like that. Automations, which I'll show in a second. Websites, you can have all your websites here. You can have memberships and subscriptions and so much more. So let's go to automation. All right. So within my automations, these are some of the ones that I have set up. And just as to show you, so these are things that I have set up. So from steps 1 through 7, and then if there is a no-show call, let me back up a little bit. If there's a no-show call, a discovery call, or no-show for that, then I have all these automations kind of set up, and this is what it would kind of look like. So an appointment discovery call. So I have a trigger booked. So anytime what a trigger is basically when that event happened, these things need to start happening. So when an appointment is status is marked as booked, right? And you can change this name to whatever you want, but I'm not going to. So when the event type is normal, the appointment status is confirmed, and within my calendar, the discovery is marked as a discovery call. That's when it pops everything off, or the opportunity changed to within the pipeline, and I can specify within my business automation pipeline or within my leads. And my pipeline stage is now changed to booking requested. So what I think I'll do is probably create a separate course on like go high level, and kind of just like do some research, compare other people's courses on how they do it, and then kind of create my own course about like the things I've learned up to this point. I've been using Go High Level for about a year now, and so there's a ton of stuff that you can do within it. But overall, I just want to kind of show you the overall setup that I have. So you can add a contact tag in here. So it just discovery call booked. We'll create the opportunity in here. So we're going to create the opportunity within. We got a booking requested, discovery call booked, and then we're going to assign them a lead value of $4.99. So this is what I was doing before I started like really upping my price. And it's like I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. So again, I'm not an expert in this by any means. It's just something that I'm interested in, and I've been putting in some time into understanding what's going on to learn this stuff, and it's really in depth. Now, are there people who are doing this a lot better than me? Of course, but I'm just giving it to you the way that I personally know it, and if it works for you, even better. So as soon as that discovery call is booked, they'll get a confirmation text message. An internal notification will get sent to me to say, hey, such and such booked this date. They'll get a confirmation email, and then it'll wait 24 hours before that call to send a confirmation message, which is basically confirming like, hey, just want to confirm your appointment tomorrow with Optimized Solutions. And that person can respond. So we're going to wait for a response. They're going to respond to the email, and they are going to say yes or no. If they say no, we're going to reschedule, wait for a reply, and then see if they want to reschedule, right? And then if they say yes, they want to reschedule, then we can go ahead and send them a reschedule email. If they don't, then we'll just do a no-show tag. If they do confirm it, we'll go through the process, which is confirmation, text and email. We'll wait, I think, an hour or so. Yeah, 1 hour. And then we'll send a internal notification to myself to say, hey, you got a call coming up in an hour. We'll send another email saying that, here's your Zoom link. 5 minutes before, we'll send another confirmation to both of us and kind of go about it, that process. So once we have that process set up, what I'm thinking about changing it to, because before I would just do the discovery call and just kind of go through everything there. What I think I'm about to change it to is we'll have the call. I'll have something called Firefly AI do the transcription. And then when that transcription finishes of everything, we're going to send that to a Google Drive. And when the Google Drive happens, whenever there's a new transcription that goes into the Google Drive, what we'll do is have a Zapier say, hey, when there's a new one coming in, I want you to send that transcription over to ChatGPT and then create action plans based on that. So that way we can start fully automating this process. Right now, there's a few things that are not automated all the way. But yeah, so I'm still trying to work through all that stuff and iron out the kinks. So let's go back. to here. Day 2, develop a minimum viable product. Focus on solving one critical pain point of this segment. So let's go over to perplexity. And I'm going to scroll all the way up. So basically what I did was I copy and pasted the exact words from $100 million leads, right? So we have all these going, given solutions, track the name, going to display each problem. So this is literally me copying and pasting what he wrote in the book. Here's example 1, here's example 2, cooking, right? So we're doing a problem solution set. We're renaming it to make it more sexier, and then giving it examples, and value stacking it, right? At the end of it, we'll add all the values up and then drop a nice name for it. So as you can see, he's value stacking. He's saying, hey, if you do this, how to stick with it. Doing these things, this is $1,000 value. This is $359 value, right? All of this is $4,351, all for $599. So it's like, oh, well, of course, that's a great deal. So I want you to mimic, I want all of your responses to mimic the style in example 1. And it gave examples. So you can read through all this, you can pause this. But for the most part, this is my exact process and what I did. And I can't remember where I got this part from. But yeah, so I might have had it on a different one. Actually, I think it might have cut off because it can only handle so much. So yeah, when you start going through the book, again, you'll start understanding exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And I got to this point where now it's starting to say, all right, here's all of our things that we're going to start offering, right? Our objections, how we're going to address all of those objections. And that's where we got to the mural part where I copied and pasted it. So I had to just kind of finesse it a little bit, so not bad, regenerate some of that stuff, and then kind of going through that process. So as we start creating this process, right, and following the things that Alex Hormozy was talking about, where it's like, hey, you can, I think it was like something like you have time management is like a $19 ebook, but then time management with something else is now like a $20 or $50 ebook or something like that. And then as you start niching down, now you get that minimum viable product here to say, all right, cool. Time management, $19. This new product is a little bit more tailored, is $100 or something like that. And then this other thing is now $500 because $497 because it's more specific to who I'm targeting it. So I think it was like time management for outbound sales, and then time management for outbound sales, business to business, and that's $497. But then you have time management for these people who are doing this specific thing. That is now $1,997 because that person who's doing that or who you're trying to attract is now looking at it. It's like, wait a minute, if I get one client, that one client is now $500 in profit. And I only need 2, 3, 4 clients from this one thing to now offset that entire cost. But it's going to be so specific to what I need. So it's highly worth it to me. So that's why I charge what I charge. Right now I'm at $19.97 a month, because when someone is onboarding their clients, they might have, business funding or credit solutions, and charging people $1,000 to fix credit or something like that. So one person could be worth $1,000 to them, right? And so that's who I'm targeting, where those clients who are doing credit repair are those financial clients who might be doing credit repair, who are also offering business credit and funding and things of that nature, where one client might be worth, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. And that's what I have set up right now, is partnerships with people who are doing that, where they get a percentage of the business funding that they secure for somebody. So if they go and secure, $50,000 in business funding for somebody, now they're charging 10% on that. they're making $5,000 on that one client, and out of that, they are now paying my fee of $2,000. What's the math on that? So out of $5,000, if I'm charging 1997 out of $5,000, it's 40%. So 40% of one client is my entire fee. Imagine if they get 5 clients in a month, right? That's what we're looking at. That's who we're trying to attract. I made the mistake of trying to cater to people who are just getting their business started. I'm like, yeah, I can do this for $200 a month. But the problem is that person who's paying that $200 a month is like, hey, I really need this $200 to stretch and to work, because outside of that, if I don't, then I'm gonna be hurt because like I needed that $200. I don't want to work with those clients anymore who are hurting for that money that I'm charging for. I want those to see the value in it. And for you looking at this, watching this video, I want you to get to that mindset of charging more, but over delivering even more. And that's what those two books, oversubscribed and by Daniel Priestley and Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers are doing. So when I highly recommend you read those two books first to get into the mindset first, because a lot of this won't make sense until you do. And so I'm gonna just skip over those things, hoping that you do go through through those books and come back to this and start looking at this stuff and realizing like, oh shit, like this is cool. I have my offer, because $100 million offer is all about developing that offer. I already have my offer because I went through the book, and it would take me far more time to show you how to go through to develop your own offer in this series than it is to just go ahead and try to work through the stuff and really try to crank through and try to get the goal that I'm trying to get to, which is 20 clients in the next 60 days at $2,000 a month. So I have my offer. So what we'll do is when you get your offer, come back here and pick up on this part. So next, let's go back to the 8-week plan that we have. Continuing day 2 or 3. All right. We go back up here, copy this. Wherever is that? That's another thing. I used to be like, I don't know if I want to show somebody my entire process, but at the end of the day, like your offer is going to be unique to you, because even if you type in the exact same stuff into Perplexity, or ChatGPT or whatever, it's learning off of itself. So you might get an even better outcome. Oh, here it is. You might get an even better outcome than what I did, and you might start making money. And I have this mindset where I'm like, look, your what? That's not it. I don't think we should look at each other as competition. Like, yes, we can be competition, but at the end of the day, like, if you make more money because of something that you followed, from what I said, one, that's a testimony. Two, we can start doing business together, because there's only so much business that I can handle myself. There's gonna be times where I'm like, hey, I can't. Like, we're booked. Like we're oversubscribed, and I need to start handing people off to referring clients to other people. And if I have more people to refer, it's like, look, I know the process works because they followed my process. And I know you're going to get similar outcomes, if not better outcomes than me, because they've seen my process. This is their baseline. My baseline was down here. Their baseline was up here where I started. So I know they're going to get even better outcomes. So let's go back to the 8-week plan that we have. Continuing with day 3. My check this thread MVP. I decided go with for financial planners. The objections he came up with and solution sets. Can you tell it back to me in a simplified way so that I know that we are both on the same page? Let me know. Copy, paste it again to you. See if it remembers everything within this thread. I'm first going to start piecing stuff together. All right. I'm not sure what's going on here. All right, so there we go. But after reviewing the thread, I don't see a specific mention of the MVP you decided to go with for financial plans, nor the specific objections set we discussed. Seems that this information might not have been explicitly stated in our conversation. Sure, we're on the same page. Provide you with the most accurate information. Could you please provide me a copy of the? Okay, so cool. It doesn't remember. That's fine. Once you provide this information, so let's go over Miro. It's a good thing I pasted all this stuff. So let's go over Miro. We are going to copy and paste these objections. So give me a sec, and what I'll do is I'll come back after I copy and pasted each of these problems. And I'll just basically say, hey, look back when we were talking about these problems, revamped, and actually, let me see if I just do this. All right, so basically what I did was I just copied a few of the things that we had went over. Some of the headlines that I came up with because I was about to copy and paste everything. It's just a lot. And I was like, hey, we went over these things and a few more. Then we went over this implementation bootcamp, created a 3-week guide, and then we created our guarantee right here. So after doing that, I was like, first, let me know if you see those within this thread, and then let me know if we can work with those things as a minimum viable product. So let's see what it says. Of course. Let me just check something real quick. So one of the things I do like is that you can copy and paste if it will copy the rest of this shit. Okay, I don't know if it's still thinking. Let me just copy this, and we're going to see if we can find it in here. I don't know what it's talking about because it's literally right there. This is literally everything right here. So how I can't find that, I don't know, but it's literally right there. Right? All right, so I don't see the specific product offerings or details within the search results or our previous conversation in this thread. However, based on the information you provided, I can work with these concepts as a minimum viable product. Let's summarize and simplify these offerings. So it does know what it's talking about because it's here. So quick setup process For financial providers, 30 days less, streamline this, unbreakable vault, automated, guarantee. This MVP focuses on solving critical pain points, efficient client onboarding, data security and compliance, personalized service delivery, quick implementation, risk mitigation through a satisfaction guarantee. By offering these solutions as a package, Optimize addresses the key challenges of scaling a financial advisory practice while maintaining high quality personalized service. This MVP. So I'm still kind of confused on what an MVP is. Can you break down in layman terms what an MVP is and structure one for me to better understand what my specific one is? All right, layman terms, the simplest version of your product that you can sell, still solve your customer's core problem. It's like a rough draft of your full idea that you can show to your potential clients to see if they're interested. The goal is to create something quickly and cheaply that you can test in the real world rather than spending a lot of time, money, building a complete product that might. What the hell? What the hell? Might not be what customers actually want. Think of it like this. If you were opening a restaurant, your MVP might be a food truck with just 3 of your best dishes rather than a full restaurant with a complete menu. Now let's structure your MVP. Quick start retirement planner. Core feature, automated client onboarding and basic retirement plan generation. What it does, streamline the process or gathering essential client information, automatically generates a basic retirement plan based on the client's data, securely stores client information, how it works, the advisor. So they're sending a secure link to fill out the questionnaire, creates a retirement plan. And this is not what we want. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is copy and paste everything that I have up here. Okay, so it's not bad. It's not terrible. Because what I can do is show you exactly what I typed. I'm just looking for. Can you create a one paragraph that would draw the reader in about this service, then follow it up with 7 to 10 services I provide in bullet list format? So here's okay. All right, so going through, I'm just kind of backtracking stuff. So going through exactly the $100 million offer, we came up with all of our done for you services, done with you services, and ongoing support. We tailored everything, and we just kept asking it these different questions about like, all right, cool. Um, Coming up with here's the original name that needs a sexier name, right? How to achieve a positive ROI. You're planning on automation with transparent pricing. Here's the solution that needs to be in the continuous list, right? So now I'm getting one-on-one, done with you services, done for you services, ongoing support, right? Boom. So I basically said, just put everything in one list. I don't need a long, like, done out list. I just need everything in one list. So now that we have all the updated bundles and values, can you generate a list of sexier names for the problems 1 through 7? Here's their names. Here's the value that it added to it, right? You just came up with a random number, added to it. For some of them, can you randomly assign a new value like $24.99, $19.99, or generate the same, etc., and generate the same list with updated values? So boom, that's where we got these numbers from, right? So now this is how I started value stacking stuff. And then it gave me the total value of 15,587. Perfect. Now that we have the total value, can you do a price drop on it? For example, total value. And I just copied and pasted it, right? So all of this, boom. So we had 15,587, all yours for 1997. Can you create a paragraph that would draw the reader in about this service? Then follow it up with 7 to 10 services. So this is the paragraph that they generated, right? And we basically said, here's included with all this stuff. So what I can do is copy this, right? Boom. And I just said, I like that. Could you make the first sentence more of a pain point of losing customers due to missed out? I wanting to use AI to keep up with modern times. Cool. So then looks like I got something that was even better. So I might copy this one. So now that we have that, let's modify it with some urgency, keeping the portion of included. Here's an example to base it off of. I actually had a client who signed up with a few weeks ago, drop out, so I have an opening for a next cohort. So I'm trying to create a sense of urgency here, but I don't need that for the rest of this. Again, as you start reading $100 million offers, you'll start understanding exactly how to go about this and putting this into your own words. So I told her I like example 2. And again, just trying to create more of a sense of urgency. So with that being said, I'm also copying and pasting. And of course, you can always just pause this as you start going through this. I think, yeah, this is something I was obviously copy and pasted from the book. More stuff that I copy and pasted. And then that's how I started getting to my bonuses. Okay, cool. So now we know how I got to the bonuses. And it's starting to expand on each idea and stuff like that. So now we're back to this. So let's retry this. This is something that you came up with earlier in this thread. I'm just hoping to jog its memory again. Can you create a new MVP using this information? Let's give that a sec. I'll start updating. All right, so certainly based on the information provided, let's go ahead and create this. So we have retirement automation essentials, core features, automated client onboarding. Let's make sure this is actually the bottom. All right, cool. Digital questionnaire for new clients, automatic creation of client profiles and systems. We got secure data management, encrypted storage for client information, role-based access controls, basic workflow automation. 30-day setup, training, basic integration, performance dashboards, key metrics tracking, what's included. So now we have all of this. Cool. Cloud-based software access, initial setup, basic training for your and team, email support. So this is summarizing everything that I had, my $100 million offer that I have, my bonuses, my objections, and everything else that I've created for that. And it's summarizing all this stuff. So advanced customer features, integration with complex financial planning tools, AI-driven insights, commonly community features, quarterly business reviews. This MVP focuses on solving 3 critical pain points: streamline client onboarding to save time, ensuring secure data management to build trust, and automating basic flows to prevent. So, experience benefits quickly. This MVP provides a clear proposition. So now we have our MVP. So let's go ahead, and what we'll do is copy this part here. Boom. Go back to Miro. So the reason I also like copy and paste a lot of this stuff is because if at any point Perplexity, glitches out or, my information is lost, I can always recreate it. It'll take some time, but I can always recreate it if I need to. So we're going to do, we're going to duplicate this. Drag this down here. This is our day 3 to 4. Our MVP. Make it a little prettier. My laptop is tweaking. It is time for a new one. All right, cool. So we got that. What does this look like? Okay. So we'll do that. Core features. So we got our core features. Have that. Essentials, core features. All this is 1 through 5. That there. And give me 1 sec to go ahead and clean all this up. All right, so it took me a little time, but I finally got it all cleaned up. As you can see, I just copied and pasted all this stuff for day 3 and 4, which is develop a minimum viable product. I'll focus on solving one critical pain point. So this is our core features right here. So this is the viable product, retirement automation essentials. Your core features, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the things that we're going to provide to our clients. This is what's included within it, what they're going to get, and these are things that is not included. I like this because we're telling them advanced customization features are not included because that might be an upsell. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if that's what it's thinking. Integration with complex financial tools, financial planning tools. I like that because there's not every time I'm going to be able to integrate this with their existing software. So I hope, but it's not something I can guarantee. AI-driven insights, that is something that might be an upsell. Community features, I don't even know what that means. So let's talk about that. In advanced customization features. In the what's not included section, can you explain what that and all right, we have to explain what I meant by advanced customization feature and community features and what's not included. Advanced customization features, this refers to more complex tailored modifications to the software that will require significant development time. For example, custom built integrations with specific financial planning tools, highly personalized automation workflows unique to each advisors practice: the ability to create custom reports or data visualizations, advanced AI-driven features for predictive analytics. Oops. I hate when it keeps jumping around. Uh, hmm. This one we can do. We can do creating the automation workflow within Go High Level. The other stuff, you are correct. Right, these features, while valuable, will require more time and resources to develop and implement, which is why they're not included. Okay. All right. So basically, it's like going back to what he was talking about. Like, what's the minimum? It now makes sense. The minimum viable product. What is the thing that you can do, like bare bones minimum, to get in and out, but still get somebody interested in the product? Community features. This refers to built-in networking collaboration tools within the platform. For example, forum or discussion board for advisors to share best practices, peer-to-peer messaging systems, ability to share templates, workplaces, or workflows with other users, collaborative spaces, user-generated content sections. All right, cool. So, uh, what I would want to do, because I'm gonna have questions later on, put this in there, and what we're going to do is add a note in here, and we're going to do that. Boom. Cut that out. And expand that just a little bit, so now I can see. If I ever have to reference this, in the website included. My laptop is tweaking, but luckily this is the end of day 2, but it's still happening at 3 or 4. I'll just keep going as I need to. Um, so we got our MVP. We know what we need. We got our core features, what's included and what's not included within that. So we know how to go about this. So all in all, this is the next step in the progress. So it is good progress, and we are going to um, see you in the next video.